From a murderous need for speed to a deadly feud between neighbors and one girl's gradual fall into madness, those are the most disturbing TikToks ever uploaded. In Delray Beach, Florida, a tragic story unfolds. This is the tale of Noah Thomas Galley, a 17-year-old whose love for speed and thrilling dopamine spikes led to a horrifying tragedy. Noah Galley, a teenager from the affluent town of Wellington, Florida, was different from his peers. His family's background was notable. His father, Fred, founded Cleburne Metal Works, a prominent metal roofing company. His mother, Tanya, was a nurse before her license was revoked in 2012. Noah's life appeared ordinary, but beneath the surface lay an insatiable craving, not necessarily for speed, but for the rush of dopamine. See, with funny pet videos and dances at the forefront, TikTok may seem as a perfectly harmless platform, but what it really does is sap away your attention together with your dopamine. Why put all those hours, the hard work and the sweat into something meaningful and rewarding when the next dopamine hit is just one swipe away? One little motion of the thumb. This oversaturation with dopamine-spiking media may be a key factor in Noah's obsession with speed, which spilled onto other social media platforms as well. He posted daring videos, pushing the limits of speed, daring viewers to guess his breakneck velocities, and even offering cash rewards. His online presence became a platform for reckless clout chasing. On a freezing January night, Noah set out on a reckless journey. Behind the wheel of his BMW i8, he planned to push the car to its limits. He and 4 of his friends roared down the Interstate 95, recording the whole drive for his Instagram and TikTok account. At 10:58 p.m., disaster struck. Noah's BMW collided with an SUV, claiming the lives of 5 individuals. During the investigation, a disturbing revelation emerged. Someone tipped off the police about Noah's high-speed antics, recorded on his Instagram and TikTok accounts. When questioned about his speed, Noah admitted, above 120. Investigators suspected alcohol and drugs played a role in the tragedy, impairing his judgment. A search warrant then unearthed the shocking truth. Noah had driven at a staggering 182 miles per hour on Interstate 95. The aftermath left families shattered, children orphaned, and a community in mourning. The pain and suffering Noah's reckless actions inflicted can never be undone. Noah Galley faces 6 counts of vehicular homicide, confronting the consequences of his actions. But this isn't just a story of high-speed adrenaline and the endless chase for the next dopamine spike. It's a tale of lives forever altered by one teenager's reckless obsession. This tale is about Zachary T. Latham, a young man charged with the manslaughter of his neighbor, William T. Durham Sr. This case, driven by a bitter feud in Vineland, New Jersey, took a tragic turn in 2020, amplified by the influence of TikTok. The conflict between the Latham and Durham families began when Catherine Durham expressed concerns about Latham's reckless driving on Thornhill Road, where they both resided. Latham, known for posting videos on TikTok, recorded these encounters and shared them on the social media platform, escalating tensions. The feud reached a grim climax on May 4, 2020. The Durhams claimed that Latham dangerously swerved his vehicle toward their 17-year-old son, Gage Durham, as he rode his bike out of his driveway. Hours later, a confrontation between the two families escalated into a violent brawl, all captured on cell phone video and potentially motivated by the desire for TikTok fame. During the trial, this video footage, which gained notoriety on TikTok, was repeatedly shown. William T. Durham Jr. and Gage Durham, both unarmed, along with their father, confronted Latham, who armed himself with a knife and stun gun. Tragically, the elder Durham, a veteran state corrections officer, was fatally stabbed during the brawl. In court, Latham's defense argued that he acted in self-defense, fearing for his family and friends' safety.
You knew you were not allowed on that property, right?
Yes.
It was a private residence, and you were not welcome there.
Yes.
Your father knew that he was not welcome there, and he had been asked to leave.
Yes.
The prosecution contended that he used unreasonable force and could have retreated and called the police.
He's invading their privacy in terms of their lives, and he's turning it into a spectacle, which ultimately leads to this. So the question then becomes for me, if I'm the defense, is that a concern for me that the wife is filming the entire time? Because to me, that would indicate, look, Zach said, I need you to film this. This is going down here.
The Durham family endured weeks of tension, exacerbated by Latham's TikTok videos documenting their encounters. The loss of William Durham Sr. deeply impacted the family and the community. Lawyers for the Durham family suggested that Latham may have lured the victim into the fatal fight, as a bid for TikTok fame, a claim rooted in the contentious videos posted by Latham.
Wanted permission, leave the property. She's saying it over and over again. But at no point does she stop and call police.
This case serves as a stark reminder of how conflicts can escalate in the age of social media, where personal disputes can become public spectacles with devastating consequences, all fueled by platforms like TikTok. The blurred lines between real-life events and the pursuit of online notoriety highlight the potential dangers of such digital exposure. In the serene landscapes of Lancaster County, we find Helen Miller, a 19-year-old girl who had cerebral palsy, which permanently bound her to her wheelchair. Her life wasn't easy given her condition, but she had a loving family around her. Claire, her 14-year-old sister, and Helen Miller lived with their parents, seemingly like any other family. However, something festered beneath the surface, something connected to Claire's recent behavior. The incident begins to unfold on one night. Claire Miller made a call to the police that would change everything. "I hurt my sister." When the officers arrived, what they discovered was something they never could have expected. Claire stood before them, her clothes soaked in blood, trembling with fear. She led them into her sister's room, a room that had turned into a horrifying crime scene. There lay Helen, her life extinguished, and a knife cruelly embedded in her neck. Her parents had just now woken up from the noise of the police sirens. As investigators delved deeper into this case, a grim picture emerged. Claire had been talking to someone on the phone before the tragedy struck. In those conversations, she revealed thoughts of self-harm and violence. They seem connected to a recent change in behavior which could be observed in the TikToks she regularly uploaded to her channel. She went from an upbeat girl, liked among her peers, to reclusive and depressed, losing friends in the process. Though the role of TikTok in this chilling saga remains ultimately uncertain, it is important to examine the broader impact of social media. These platforms like TikTok can amplify dark emotions in the minds of vulnerable users, with algorithms trained to bind the user to its platform, disregarding any negative effects the content could have on its users. Claire, at just 14 years old, now stands accused of a crime so grave that it becomes difficult to speak about it. Pennsylvania's laws are strict when it comes to crimes such as murder, and Claire faces charges as an adult, locking her away without the possibility of bail. As the investigation marches forward, the motive behind this cruel act remains elusive. The emotional scars extend far beyond the Miller family, touching the lives of those who arrived on the scene to witness the unimaginable.